All right, man. Torture Talk After Hours. So look, man, Drake showed up. I was gonna say Hustler University, but Drake showed up at Streamers University to give a message to the kids out there. Excuse me. And yeah, man, this is really interesting coming from him. I think Drake is doing a little bit too much nowadays. I think he should just sit back and relax. You know, let this whole thing pass, because people still clowning him about this loss to Kendrick. So, but he popped out and he gave a heartfelt message. So we're gonna listen to that. You already know what it is. Torture Talk. We'll be back, man. All right, man. Torture Talk After Hours. So look, man, let's get into this, man. This comes courtesy of Marcus at Work Media. So let's go.
Welcome back to Marcus at Work Media. So we got BBL Drizzy decided to do a heartfelt speech at culminates Streamer University recently. Now we got some clips of him being asked about directing Drake's new video and how that's going. But first, let's get to this message, because a lot of people feel like this is him pandering to teens. You tell me.
Go ahead and see who it's from real quick. Go ahead and play it.
Good evening. Year one.
Y'all gotta chill. Y'all really gotta chill. Like, I mean, it's a video. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm the one that need to chill. Maybe they're excited because Drake is still a superstar. Maybe I shouldn't be saying y'all need to chill. Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I understand. I guess I understand why they doing what they do. So let's keep going.
It's officially in the books. Congratulations.
Go ahead and play it.
Good evening. Year one is officially in the books. Congratulations. To be able to organize this incredible academia event and gather you all together in one place is something that has never been done before. It's an extraordinary feat. And I want you all to show the most love that you possibly can for your dean, the one and only Kaisana.
Appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, appreciate y'all. All right, Drake.
Listen, in 1980, Ted Turner launched a 24-hour news cable network.
Yes. I like the setup there. You look like a little mob boss or like the student's dean at a college university. I get it. I get the theme he was going for there. So
It's one thing I noticed about every time Kendrick does something, Drake does something, or at least it just lines up that way. You know what I'm saying? And Drake is not shy to let people know that he drinks. He's not shy of that. Kendrick exposed that, not exposed that he drinks, but exposed that he has a drinking problem. It's a big difference between you drinking and have a drinking problem. And yeah, man, I just find this kind of fascinating. Let's keep it going.
Some people take this as, hey, he's just giving support to the teens and giving some encouragement and things like that, and it's a good thing. Some people looking at it like, hey, man, this is classic Drake. Pandering to the streamers, pandering to teens, and his biggest issue is this teen thing. Whether it's the allegations of dating some young girls or whether he's catering his music to the teens. So you might ask, why would he cater to teens when he was doing so well with the women and hip hop or whatever? Because he's alienated hip hop. He's alienated the women, specifically black women. And now he got the teens because they're going to consume the music. That's why he hasn't grown with any of his music, considering that his new target demographic is these said teens.
I mean, I really can't hate the man for trying to keep his brand going, but at the same time, you gotta think about it. Like, you already got allegations on you about you dealing with teens and messing around with teens and messing with younger people. Why would you want to keep yourself around them? And on top of that, bro, you about to be 40 years old. You still basically hanging with people who not even in their 20s yet. Like, I just find that kind of weird, or even discussing it with them. You ain't necessarily hanging with them, but you like discussing it with them. You should be talking to adults, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. What y'all think about that?
Why people are turning on Drake. Like, even with the beef and the allegations, there's been a shift in people's opinion towards Drake and his music, right? Every person goes through 3 phases in their life. They have 3 big fights that they have to go through. The first one is the fight with themselves. This is you coming to terms with your insecurities, accepting who you are, your shortcomings, dealing with any trauma that you might have had that you haven't healed from, going through that phase. The second one is the fight with others. That's you learning how to connect with people, having empathy, building up meaningful relationships. And the third one is the battle with the universe. That's you kind of figuring out the meaning of life, your purpose, like why we're all here, that type of shit. So when it comes to Drake, I don't think he's made it past level 1. And if he has, his music and the way he carries himself and his persona and everything, that doesn't reflect him making it past level 1. You think about his music, it's still very self-absorbed, toxic, lover boy, flexing on exes and the haters and all that shit. It's kind of the same thing he was talking about 10 years ago. And that worked back then because his core fan base, we were in that same space. We were in that same area. We were trying to figure out our lives. We were trying to figure out what we were doing. If anybody wasn't on our level, it was like, fuck everybody. No new friends, all that shit, right? But at a certain point, people evolve, people grow. People that were in their 20s when Take Care came out are now in their 30s. And they're evolving and maturing and they're getting to that next stage in their life. They want deeper connections. They want meaningful connections. You look at somebody like Beyonce or Kendrick who have kind of been more vulnerable and more open with the hurt, the betrayal, the struggles that they deal with, the problems that they've had. Stuff that we as now adults have gotten to that point where we're learning to build meaningful connections with other people. And his music just isn't doing that. It doesn't have that same connection. Drake still sounds like he's 25 in the club. Drake is still in the club with the fucking barrettes on and like he's still in that same lifestyle. That would explain why his music tends to be aged down, why he's always trying to catch the new wave so that he can stay in that, call it like Peter Pan syndrome or whatever, but stay in that mindset, that era of his life where he feels like he's in most control. And that's not to say he hasn't made it to level 2 and found meaningful connections with other people and built those relationships. It's possible that he just trusted the wrong people or moved shady or they moved shady or something happened to where it reverted him back to level 1. Not saying that if relationships go bad when you get to level 2 that you have to revert back to level 1. But sometimes if those relationships go the wrong way, if they hit you a certain way, it can push you back and make you regress. We have to evolve to stay relevant. Whatever you're doing, whether you're making music, making content, whether you run a business, you have a clothing line, whatever it is, you have to evolve to stay relevant and connect. It's the same as if you have a group of friends and all y'all talk about is going out to the club or how y'all used to do, what life used to be like, only talking about drinking, smoking, not talking about like any type of progression or making yourself or your life better. Of course, Drake is still massively successful. He has a huge fan base. He has a huge audience. He has a huge reach. But culturally, and that's a lot of what last year was about and a lot of what Kendrick spoke about, culturally, there is a very, very big disconnect. I feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that he turned his back on black women. When he shifted and started making music for young white kids, shit went downhill. But yeah, I say all that to say, Drake is stuck, so is his music. And I feel like that's a big reason of why he lost his grip on the culture. If he would have aged up, matured, and let that resonate with through his music, we'd probably be having a completely different conversation. But here we are. What do y'all think? Because I don't think the PDF shit, I don't think that was the big nail in the cross. I think people got woken up or exposed to the bullshit that they were being fed, and that is what caused his biggest downfall from last year. But that's just me.
Now on into the section.
All right, I didn't want to cut him off because he was cooking. So I didn't want to cut him off. But look, there's a couple of things that he said that I agree with, and there's one thing he said I disagree with. It's battling the three major hurdles you have to jump over or get over. One would be yourself, two would be other people, and three would be the universe. I definitely think that Drake is stuck in. I don't think he ever made it to level 2 or made it past level 2. I don't think he ever made that. I think he's still battling himself. And even when level 2 comes, people come around him, he's still battling himself because he can't make it past level 1 to even get close enough to people in level 2. You know what I'm saying? Level 3 that's a whole nother monster. So I don't think he even ready for that. Excuse me, but they do say you do good as you get older, you grow. So maybe when he get in his 40s, maybe he'll grow up. I kind of do have a little disagreement. I don't think that Drake made music for white kids. I don't think Drake made music for black kids. I think Drake made music for Drake. I think whatever his music was, he made it to where if you like him, you like his music. I don't think he was targeting a specific group of people, in my opinion. I don't think he was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I think at the beginning, now as far as he said he started disrespecting black women, I agree. But I also will say he didn't just only disrespect black women. He also disrespect white women and any woman that came his way. You know what I'm saying? He did that too. So that's how I feel about that. But I mean, what he was saying, everything else he was saying was on point. I agree. So keep going.
Where Kai was asked about directing the video.
So listen, after this, I gotta start going through treatments for Drake's music video. I am directing it, yes.
The hardest worker.
I am.
And like, how do you even put treatments together for a man like that? Like, you know,
The supporters gonna put 30 seconds to a minute treatment, and then after I'm gonna expand on the winner. The winner's treatment, and just keep it going, keep it going.
That's a great idea.
Directing, yeah, it's gonna be fire.
Fresh off of Streamer University, the Kai Cenat. How did it go?
It was amazing. You know, my students and me being a dean, the whole event was amazing. Came straight here, and now we here.
and then tell me about like being at events like this. Like now that you've done it more often than QT here, like what's the vibe like when you're streaming versus being on a carpet like this?
It's the same thing. Just meeting people like on the carpet, just doing my thing, just doing the same thing, and having fun for real.
And you know I'm gonna ask you about it.
What?
Drake, like working on like directing?
Yes.
For
So
Drake, like how does that even happen, bro?
okay, so listen. After this, I gotta start going through treatments for Drake's music video. I am directing it, yes.
The hardest worker on Twitch.tv.
And like how do you even put treatments together for a man like that? Like you know he's
The supporters gonna put 30 second to a minute treatment, and then after I'm gonna expand on the winner's treatment, and just keep it going and keep it going.
That's a great
And
idea,
direct
man.
it. Yeah. It's gonna be.
Well, Kyle seems excited, and obviously Kyle feels like Drake being involved was a good thing. It helps him, obviously. But is this pandering to teens? Should we look at this in a negative way? Is this classic manipulation, Drake? Or is this just an honest, heartfelt moment that Drake decided to give back?
I don't think nothing is heartfelt by Drake. I definitely think everything is planned and organized by him. I don't think that he's one of those type of people that comes out and does like heartfelt things, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's maybe for his mom or his son. Outside of that, he's definitely about him. And he's always going to be about him. You know what I'm saying? So, well, thank y'all for joining me. I just wanted y'all to see that real quick. And yeah, man, what y'all think about that? Y'all think Drake is out here faking? You know what I'm saying? Y'all think he out here just trying to get the teens to stay relevant in his music? And I want to talk about that real quick before I get out of here. I don't really necessarily think that Drake is doing things to stay relevant for the teens. Well, then again, no, I'm sorry. I definitely think that he's doing things to stay relevant with teens. But what I was going to say was he doesn't really know how to get past the era that he was stuck in, that he was successful in. So, like, for example, back in in the early, I would say 2010, 2000, about 2011, 12, 13, 14, Drake was on fire. You know what I'm saying? He was on fire. But I think the problem lies in he still believes that because he was doing that type of music, he can capture that same audience age-wise. And people grow. The one thing I will say about Drake music is he tries to make relatable music for people that are growing up, because you figure if I'm going to stay in this pocket and these kids, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, and I still talk about things that they're going through, I'm going to stay relevant because they're going to listen to it because I'm talking about. But the problem lies is he's a grown man speaking on things that happened when he was younger. See, things now are different. Society has changed. We don't do a lot of different things that we used to do. I mean, even love, even the word love and the word hate and all that stuff has changed. So everything ain't always going to be what he thinks it's going to be. So I think he think that he can keep on doing that instead of actually trying to evolve into the next level. He rather stay there and try to keep regressing and having people come to him off of his old work or off of his work where he feels as though that he can actually how would I say this, cater to the younger crowd by still making music that they probably can understand. But as you get older and you're old man, people that's younger don't understand your language no more, because they look at you like, oh, this guy is 40-something years old and he's still talking about high school girls. It just looks weird to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think he's messing up at. But either way, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Bye.